Man, I get the butt sweats bad when we record.
All the time?
No, just when we're recording.
Oh.
My butt is normally bone dry, but when we record, I get the bad butt
The
sweats.
Here's Something podcast, guaranteed to get your butt moist.
This episode is sponsored by butt
Mitch's
sweats.
ass sweat.
I sit crisscross applesauce, so I don't get butt sweat.
You can try butt sweats with code Here's Something.
Welcome to Here's Something, a conversational podcast between three Dingus boys. Myself, Josh, and my good pals Jeremy and Mitch. So yeah, boys, here's something.
Yeah.
Good old games,
yeah.
or as GOG, as it's known to the layman,
Yes, Galaxy of Gaming.
has decided they're tired of people bitching about having too many games clients, so they're going to launch a games client launcher.
Wait,
Okay.
what?
They're launching Galaxy 2.0. It's basically a games client roundup application.
Oh, so you can launch games from it, it's not like I can launch Steam from it, right?
Right, but you can launch like
Okay.
any game you have, regardless of what not web client, but like games launcher it uses.
Yeah. Okay.
And
That solves the Epic Games Store debacle.
Yeah, now people can
Yeah.
finally shut the fuck up.
I thought you meant like it launched your game launchers. Like it launches Steam, and then you launch your game from Steam.
No, it
Green
launches
Man
our game
Gaming
launches
launches-
into space. Fuck them.
Yeah. There's already a thing like that. It's called Play Night. I've been using it for like a month now.
Yeah, but now it's
So-
coming from like a major, a more well-known outlet, I guess you could
A
say.
reputable source. Reputable source.
Yeah,
It's a reputable source for all your games.
it's GOG like seeing a problem, trying to fix a problem, and also trying to revitalize their brand.
Yeah. My brand.
My
Yeah.
brand.
I didn't want to say it too loud.
I was so quiet. You sounded so far away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He ran out the room to say it. Thinking we
Yeah, I
wouldn't
didn't
hear
want
it.
anyone to hear it. I just had to say it.
Which is neat,
That's
I guess. And it's but
I like good old
the
games.
thing about
They're
this
very
one,
good
it's going to track like your achievements from across all launchers and stuff like that, and
Oh,
kind of round
that's-
all that information up into one spot.
Yeah, that's cool.
I kind of gave it a brief read. If it'll like unify your friends lists and stuff like that, it'll be the complete package.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sure someone will recommend stuff like that. Yeah, it's cool. I like GOG. They seem to be really attached to like the more old school concepts of like achievement hunting and
Like freedom for gamers, like just
Yeah,
they're anti DRM, which is a good thing. So
Yeah.
they won't layer like another layer of DRM on top of whatever games clients you're using.
Yeah.
Mhm.
they sell completely DRM free versions of pretty much every game on their store as well.
Right.
Oh.
Even the
They
new
do
stuff
have it.
now, right?
Yeah. It says bring together your friends from all platforms and see their
Yeah.
online status.
Good job.
You can chat with them no matter what platform they're on.
See, that's good. This could be, yeah, like Mitch said, this could
Yeah.
finally end that stupid ass like debates.
I'm gonna go sign up for it
I wonder if it
Right
bypasses like those games client DRMs though, like Epic DRMs
well,
and stuff like that.
They still launch, I'm sure.
Mm.
So it
Yeah.
may launch that thing before it launches the game.
I wonder if it'll handle that check like, I don't know. I'm trying to
It's
think
just-
of a way to word this without making myself sound like an idiot. So like
It's
instead
just
of your
gonna be
computer handling that check, I wonder if like it'll handle it offsite and verify, and then maybe
No.
send the message to let your computer run the application. I don't know.
I don't
Yeah.
believe so. So
Yeah.
it's similar. It's similar. I mean, if I had to guess how it is, it's going to be similar to having like a bookmark. So when you open that, not bookmark, what do they call it? Shortcut. So you open that shortcut, and then it will launch like Origin or Epic or Steam, and then the game in some cases.
Yeah.
Because that's what the other one does. It launches Uplay, and then launches Division 2. So
Like
just
I said,
somewhere
I've
to
never
have it
really had the
centralized.
issue because I just have desktop icons for all the games.
yeah, I don't do desktop icons.
But then you have to have those services open all the time in the background.
I mean, I'm assuming with Galaxy it'd be the same thing.
Yeah, I guess. I suppose.
Hold on, let's let Jeremy research this.
I'm signing up
No,
for.
let's-
Should have done this before the
for the
podcast.
service. I didn't know about
Let's
it.
let's sit silently for 5 minutes and let Jeremy
5
just
minutes
become
as
an
I
expert.
sign up.
Yeah, we got to get that room tone.
Yeah. Even worse, he's not researching, he's signing up for something.
for something that we just told him about.
One of the
signing
one of
up
the
for the
hosts
beta.
of the podcast is so fucking bored with the podcast. He's signing up for like BlueApron.com or some shit.
Yeah, this man's attention span is so short.
BlueApron.com. Come on the podcast and
Yeah,
sponsor us.
sponsor us. Give us
Yeah.
a whole fuck ton of money.
But anyway, that's
This
pretty
was
much
nice.
it. I just kind of wanted to start us off on a positive note that
Yeah, I'm excited. It looks cool.
Once again, I'm a big fan of GOG, and pretty much like anything they're doing, I'm down for.
I hate to use the word trust when discussing like big companies and stuff like that, but one of the more trustworthy companies is like launching this initiative, and I can get behind that.
They're no bullshit. They're not trying to like fucking
Ulterior
bait and
motives.
switch you. Yeah, they just want you to play games good.
Old.
Did you know that CD Projekt is part of GOG?
Yeah, I think they're. I don't think they were originally, but I'm pretty sure they were smelling what GOG was selling, so they partnered up with them at some point.
Yeah.
Because Witcher
GOG
3 is
is
like one of their
part
highest
of-
profile games.
Yeah, that's neat. I didn't know that. Man, I'm all pumped up for this. I'm gonna sign up for the beta twice.
Hell yeah! create a fake email. to
After I
sign
finish
up.
updating my LinkedIn profile.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me get
Hold on, I
that.
gotta type up a fresh resume.
I signed up for the beta and everything.
You looking for a
That's the
job? No,
first
I
thing.
just update it when I'm not doing anything else.
I just start from scratch.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know you could actually do that. Neat.
Start a resume from scratch?
No, so little. This is here's something in junior, I guess. I don't know, a small guy. Here's something. So, did you know when you have a Gmail email account, you can put like a plus and then something else after it, and it'll still send it to your email.
So
like-
anyway, GOG is pretty.
That was the here's something small guy.
Yeah, it was-
as
Track-
Jamie called it.
You can track. You can track who's like sending out your information.
Speaking of CD Projekt Red,
Oh my god!
they
Really
have
cool
a
thing.
huge game coming up.
It's called Plus after your email.
No,
God damn it.
I'm trying to tee
Scrap
you up
the
for your
episode, we're
topic,
starting
you
over.
asshole.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's called Assholes.
Let me just close
here's-
these windows.
I'm gonna.
Here's something. Y'all ready for E3?
No, I'm not now.
Oh shit! All
We're
right, I'll
talking
check
about
again
emails.
I'll check again later.
E3 Plus.
Yeah, E3 Plus. When-
No, I am.
Okay.
For once, I guess I'm like not really looking forward to E3 because I'm worried it's going to be depressing.
Yeah, there's not much going on. That's kind of what I want to talk about.
Do you
There's
think
some
this will be
cool
the
stuff.
last E3?
I don't know about that. I think it still has enough that it's going to keep going. I mean, Nintendo's going to be there. Call of Duty's going to be there. Ubisoft's going to be there.
Yeah, but
One
more-
thing I noticed, it's a lot of like gaming media is going to like be doing shows. Which
Yeah.
is that normal? I don't remember
Yes.
that being
Well,
a thing.
I'm pretty sure like the floor space has just become cheaper and cheaper, so now they're just trying to capitalize on the availability of it. Is kind of
Okay.
really all it is. Because I mean, you could watch. You're watching the same feed that they are, so you're learning
Yeah.
everything as they're learning it now. The whole thing, the reason behind E3 is kind of antiquated. I mean, those business deals get done backdoors anyway. There's no reason they just throw this big expensive event.
Yeah. So the cool thing is the first day of the event, they're gonna have a bunch of championships, which may be fun to watch. Super Smash Brothers, Splatoon, Super Mario Maker.
Yeah, but this is just
Oh,
becoming
nice.
PAX. Like PAX
Yeah,
does this
I'm-
exact
I'm-
same thing.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
like
they do.
the alternative for what E3 to become, that one's looking pretty appealing.
Well, PAX was started as a more community-focused type E3 event thing, like bringing people together for pretty much the exact same thing that E3 is transforming itself into, like showing games to the public, connecting developers with their audiences and stuff like that. E3
Right.
used to just be for businesses and
Yeah.
press. That was it.
You used to not be able to get in unless you had a press pass.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, growing up, it was a dream of mine to freaking get into an E3, and now it's like I would
It's like,
probably
I
dread
got. It's like, I got $50. I'll go to E3.
it. Yeah.
So, it's weird to me because IGN is gonna have a thing.
Ugh.
Who
Weird.
else? Kind of Funny Games is another one. There was another one. Oh, Jack Black's Jablonski Games is gonna have a show. Like this.
I mean,
is so
Netflix is
random.
going to have a booth this year, so
I'm gonna be on stage apparently too.
Sony
I'm
freed
just
up a
put my
lot of
name on
space.
here.
yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty insane. There are some big names: Xbox, Bethesda, Call of Duty, Ubisoft, like I said, Square Enix.
Only one I'm really excited to see is
Respawn.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, they're gonna be there. CD Projekt Red. Respawn might be good. They've done, Apex Legends and stuff like that. So that'll be neat.
But they'll be at EA's Days of Play. EA.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, EA's not at E3, but well, they are. But
they are doing something.
They don't do their press
EA
conference
Play
at the E3.
Oh, that's why it all says to be determined, I guess.
Yeah, they have their own event the weekend before E3 so that they can get ahead of the press cycle.
Oh.
But it's like up the road so that they can take advantage of all the press people being in town.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, more and more developers and companies are just kind of finding like it's just not necessary. Nintendo has been checked out of E3 for a while. They just released their Nintendo Directs. They've been doing that for a few years. Sony's backed out this year. Ubisoft has their own press conference like a day or two before. Bethesda has their own press conference. So I'm saying like these companies like doing this because they control their message 100%. They don't have to fight for the limelight, and their press cycles last a day or two instead of an hour now.
Yeah.
So
Nintendo is going to be there. They have something basically to begin.
They have a booth and some demo kiosks, but like their press conference is just an hour-long video that they put out now.
Yeah,
they don't have an on-stage presence.
Yeah, there will be a Fortnite Summer Block Party, creative tournament, and a Fortnite Celebrity Pro-Am. Which
I'm not going to guess anymore. I'm going to say this is the last E3. It's dead now.
Really?
Yeah, Fortnite's taking it over.
Oh. They're going to call it F3.
Fortnite 3.
I did hear that maybe Call of Duty may be calling it quits after next year, actually.
Yeah.
They're doing another Black Ops next year.
I feel like Activision's just kind of hemorrhaging now, what with the negative limelight on Blizzard these days. Like they've burnt a lot of goodwill with their communities, and now they've lost their biggest blockbuster title, Destiny.
Call of Duty for your phone.
I say biggest. Call of Duty is still the biggest, but the freshest big thing I guess they had.
Yeah, they expect things to constantly grow, and you can't definitely do that.
And they, kudos to Bungie. They called that before Destiny 1 came out, and Activision, I guess, either didn't believe them or thought they would change their mind or something. One of the leads on it was like, we see Destiny as like a game that you put down but come back to. And
I haven't got back to it. So
you did the first part.
Yeah.
There are rumors that Call of Duty is going to be free to play coming up. That would be interesting.
That I don't believe.
Really?
The game they've been like monetizing to hell? No.
Well, it'd be free to play, but you gotta.
No, they're gonna release like a light free to play version.
You gotta pay to look good.
You could tell it's like killing them too. If they would do that, boy, they would fucking hate it because
they would have to tone down the game a lot.
Well, they
mature
tried. Man, what was it? They tried piecemealing it for the first time ever, and they were avidly against that because they were worried it would drive down like sales or something like that, or just overall revenue. But they're finally like loosening their fingers on the purse strings, and they tried that. I forget what they called it. It was like the battle pack. No, that's something else.
They called it Chipotle for Call of Duty. That was the technical official term.
They called it Taco Bell Fourth Meal Presents Call of Duty's Battle Royale mode.
I'm loving it. Have it your way.
But yeah, they basically just tried selling one mode for $30, and they were like, "Well, if you want the other two modes, it's another $30." They gave you that kind of option, so I'm not sure they're ready to do a free to play. Not this year, certainly, because there's already rumors that story mode is back. And it's going to be
just
called
keep subdividing their game. If you want the sixth of the game, you have to pay $15.
Shit, son, that would still equal $60.
Yeah.
I'm up for it. I'm pretty excited. I'm always excited for Square Enix presentations because it gives me hope for Nier Automata 2, even though I never get it. Whoa! Whoa!
Instead, you get games like The Quiet Man.
Yeah. Or like another Deus Ex would be fun. I know they're going to show some Final Fantasy remake.
I'm actually pretty excited for that Final Fantasy 7 because I liked 15, and it looks like they just pretty much. Hold on, JB's checking 15? His credit score.
Yep.
So
was The Quiet Man actually made by Square Enix?
It was published.
Holy shit! Oh my god, I didn't know that.
They had it on the E3 stage last year too. They were super proud of it.
They have some pretty cool properties though. Like they have Thief, they have Deus Ex, they have Octopath Traveler.
Here's what I don't get. Okay,
Octodad.
they're like talking out of both
Octodad
sides.
Traveler.
They're talking out of both sides of their mouth though, because they're obviously trying to get their hand in like smaller development and stuff like publishing with Quiet Man. And then there was another game they just put out, the one that was like that MGS knockoff, which was so bad I can't even remember the name of it.
Yeah.
And
Survivor or whatever.
and Left Alive, I think it is.
Oh.
And but then they bitch about like they let go of the Hitman developers because that wasn't selling well enough for them, even though like those developers considered that game to be successful. Same with the Tomb Raider
that
series.
recent one was huge.
They were super like they were talking shit about after the first Tomb Raider game came out. They're like, oh, it's just not performing as expected, but it sold like 5 million copies or something like that.
They sound like my wife.
Just wait until they announce Secret of Mana, the remake.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd
So
buy
very
that.
excited,
That's
yeah.
like the only RPG I ever really liked.
Wait, they just did that actually.
Did they?
Did they? No, they didn't.
Oh, I will.
Oh,
Okay.
buddy, they did.
Yeah,
Oh man.
and it was bad.
Oh really? Oh.
Just wait until they make Secret of Mana remake number 2.
Yeah.
Is it just a remake? I'm gonna have to look this up.
It's
3D.
pretty much just a graphical overhaul, but it's not a good one.
Oh.
Oh boy, you really fucked it here, Square.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
fucked it up.
Square's in a weird position right now. I'm curious to see what they start doing to try and right the ship, but I am, like I said, I'm excited for Final Fantasy VII.
The producers and the writers of The Simpsons are doing the presentation at some point too. Which is
Weird.
Okay. Yeah.
Devolver Digital. I'm a fan of.
Dude, you
They're
read
doing-
my mind when he said that. The first thing I thought of was, I wonder what Devolver's going to do this year.
Yeah, they always have
Psychonauts 2.
some fun announcements.
And then they have another thing. Netflix is announcing, apparently bringing some Netflix originals into video games. So
Yeah.
Orange is the New Black. Can't wait for
good.
that video
I'll
game.
touch on that,
That's
but
gonna be
whenever
amazing.
Mitch was talking about Devolver Digital, I was like, yeah, they're pretty much the hot topic of E3. They always
don't
have
know.
like some weird edgelord shit stuff like
And
that.
then like alongside like really promising genuine game
Right.
game announcements.
Almost cringe-inducing stage presence, but then
Yeah, I could really
interesting
give a
video
fuck
game
about the show they
concepts.
put on. Yeah.
But back to
Oh, Serious Sam. Okay.
what were we just saying before I went back to Devolver?
Netflix wants to
Netflix.
put out.
Yeah, they've already announced they have like an indie, like a pixel art Stranger Things game coming out.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
sure,
it's available
yeah.
on your phone.
That'd be.
I'm
Oh, it's only on
curious-
phones.
I'm curious if they're going to start doing more like breakout proper video games, or if they just mean more interactive content like Bandersnatch and the
I'm
Minecraft
assuming-
movie game.
I'm
Mhm.
assuming it's going to be a lot of interactive content. I would hope. I don't know.
I think it's both.
I want to see like, because some of the studios they partner with have really good writers, and I would like to see some original series and like concepts brought into original
Mhm,
games.
mhm.
But I know they're just gonna, it's fucking Bloodline Season 3, the video game.
I'll say this: I wouldn't be surprised if Netflix started selling like Wi-Fi controllers akin to like Google Stadia, and they started trying to do like streaming, like very graphically lo-fi video games over their service, because that would fall
Yeah.
in line with their business model completely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even if they just ported other games into the service,
Yeah. And Google,
Yeah.
I mean, not Google, Netflix kind of pioneered the whole like making content for your streaming service thing. They're the reason why every studio company is trying to launch their own service now and promising original content for it. So, I mean,
Mhm.
they've been really testing the waters with like the Minecraft story mode thing and Bandersnatch, and they've shown they're willing to push the boundaries and just kind of do crazy shit just to kind of see where the market is and what people are receptive to. So
Yeah. If I could
And it
play
works out
Joel
for 'em.
McHale show, the game, that would
the
be great.
game.
Yeah.
What funny quip is he gonna say next?
You get to select it, and the audience boos or applause.
yeah, the answer is
Yeah.
always something about dicks or something about butts, though.
There's something about Dick Mary.
Something about dicks or butts. There's no other options.
That's the option. That's what it literally says. Something
just
about
one.
Dicks or butts.
You get to press the
one
button
and
and pick it, but you can't scroll or anything.
You pick
It-
between dicks and butts.
It gives you 15 full minutes to choose where Joel McHale's just staring down the barrel of that fucking camera.
Does not blink.
No,
Just
yeah.
stares into your soul.
You can see his eyes tearing up, but he doesn't break. He just keeps staring.
And then like Allison bringing a bunch of other community people like walk in just to smile and wave at the camera for a second and leave.
Annie's boobs.
So yeah, Annie's boobs is gonna be at E3.
Yeah,
I'm
the
excited.
monkey. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm excited to see if there's something cool comes out. Am I gonna sit at my computer and watch this thing? Probably not.
No, I'll watch the highlights after that happens. I'm not gonna watch the fucking live stream.
Yeah.
I watched the Microsoft conference just because I'm excited, and you guys probably should be a little more too for the Xbox press conference because all of Xbox's first party stuff now will release day and date on PC. According to
Ooh.
I was just about to say Randy Pitchford because I saw what somebody fucking wrote on the call sheet. Phil Spencer, the head of Microsoft's gaming division, he's been the last couple of years just doing a really hard push to get like the Xbox name is kind of synonymous with gaming instead of a system. So
Yeah.
and I mean we've got Halo Infinite on the horizon. They've announced that the Master Chief collection is coming to PC soon.
Nice.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they actually did a surprise launch during E3. Like, all right, Halo Reach will be the first game to release on PC from the Master Chief collection.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they launched it during the press conference.
That would be cool. EA did that last year, I think, or the year before. Maybe. Yeah. So tell me what you're most excited about.
Cyberpunk 2077.
That Cyberpunk 2077?
Yeah.
No, I can't. All right. What I'm supposed to say. Yeah. But what about you, Mitch?
What about me?
What about you? What are you most excited about?
Mitch doesn't give a
Devolver.
shit about E3. He wants PAX where he could see the indie games.
I'm excited for the tournaments at the beginning and Devolver Digital. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Yeah.
Enter the Gungeon 2, baby. Hell yeah.
Did they announce that, or did I make that
No,
up?
that's a fake thing. You dreamed about it.
No.
No, I was thinking of Darkest Dungeon 2 when I said that.
Yeah, that's happening.
Yeah, that's happening.
Excited for that.
Yeah, I'm mostly excited for Cyberpunk and probably Bethesda. I want to see what they do.
And, yeah, I'd like
I want
to
to see if Todd Howard has the balls to go on stage this year.
It's I know we're not going to get a look at the next Elder Scrolls because the last time it was like 3 E3s ago.
Yeah.
But
No, that
I
was
hope we
last
do.
year. They just showed like a completely
landscape.
CG shot of a landscape.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
looked pretty though. Sure did look pretty.
Sure did look like a landscape.
and I'm excited for Ubisoft. I don't know. Maybe they'll just talk about the new Ghost Recon, but maybe they'll talk about something else. Who knows?
Well, they got Bethesda has the new Doom coming out, presumably
Oh
this year.
shit, yeah.
Also, they never released that expansion for the last Wolfenstein game.
Youngblood?
No, Wolfenstein 2 has an expansion where you play as BJ Blazkowicz's kids, and they've
think that's
been
Youngblood.
talking about
It's
that.
coming-
Is it Youngblood?
It's coming up in a couple of months, I think.
Yeah. So
Oh.
that and the new Doom will probably be the highlights. And I doubt we hear from Todd Howard at all, honestly. And if they're smart, they won't even say the words Fallout.
They won't even say the words Howard.
Anybody named Todd at the press conference is immediately evacuated from the fucking building.
Immediately executed.
Howard the Duck.
On the
Has to
spot.
leave.
The Bethesda press conference is Todd Howard just coming out talking about how successful 76 was and how much he loved the final episode of Game of Thrones.
How much he's been playing 76.
I just hope he comes out and just makes a bunch of jokes about how, like, when he came out for Fallout 76, he made a bunch of jokes about how there's bugs and stuff in the game. So
Yeah, like self-deprecating humor.
Yeah, I just hope he does that again.
He walks up on
so awkward.
So
he walks up on stage.
I'm here with a State of the Union on 76. Apparently, it launched without any issues, and it's everybody's favorite game.
Maybe it was just one big joke.
And it's
to
just
release the game.
out of focus in the background is Andrew WK with his signature white T-shirt, but completely pantsless, just jacking off like I.
In the background, you gotta party hard.
I don't know, guys. I might watch the live stream at this point now.
I want Todd Howard to walk up on stage and just throw out empty phrases. Just like, I'm really excited to tell you about this next project. But first, and just keep stalling for 3 hours straight.
Rage 2 was a game that we felt wholeheartedly had definite promise for visuals,
And
games.
and you got me hooked now. That's the most interesting Todd Howard has said. in 15 years.
Downloadability.
And here's a magic trick. Count the 52.
And now my best friend, Randy Pitchford.
At least I'm not a magical pedophile, am I right?
Am I right?
All right,
We have
I'm back. I'm excited for E3 now. I guess.
What the fuck?
I'm excited for our version of E3.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a goddamn fever dream.
Magical pedophile. You guys are gonna have to stop me from titling the episode that.
That's the greatest band name in the world.
God, that's one of Oingo Boingo's albums.
Peterphile. Maybe you should move to America. They pronounce it differently.
You should move to America. They pronounce it pedophile there.
Oh my god, I need to watch that shit again.
Me too. You're in my mind.
Okay. Have you ever seen the thing where he acts like he's gonna drop the snow globe, but then actually drops it?
Yes.
Oh. Okay, I'm sorry. That's one of my favorite.
That wasn't. Was that him or was that Chris O'Donnell?
It was the other guy.
It was Chris.
But they were both there. It was the super nerdy guy's show. I don't know any of their names. It was Moss's show.
Yeah. Richard.
Guys.
He had there's a series over there called I think it's called Future Man or something. Not Future Man.
This is similar, but I know what I think it is called.
Gadget Man or something like that.
Gadget Man. Yes.
Yeah. Because the first season was hosted by Stephen Fry, and he had the second season. I need to look.
Oh, it was Gadget Man. Yeah, it was Gadget Man because they fly on the plane. He has like a absorbent seat pad that absorbs your farts.
Yeah. And Noel Fielding was with him that episode. I remember that one. Yeah, they do some crazy shit. Do you see the one where they had like the micro house?
No.
That's where I first learned about those. Because they had like a one-room house that had like everything.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like Micro Machine size.
Yeah, it was a Micro Machine.
It's a house for tiny people.
It's where I house my Micro Machine.
It's a house for mice.
Him and Jimmy Carr were just hanging out on a Micro Machines track.
Okay, I'm sorry. Ever think about when they came out with Micro Machines? Some guys like, I came up with this toy. It's like cars, and they're like, well, there's already Hot Wheels. He's like, well, what if we make them smaller?
You ever think about how forks were invented? Some guy was just like, I want to stab my food. Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that nuts?
Isn't that crazy?
Nuts. Straighten the chicken's
right,
nuts.
I want to stab my food in the nuts.
Okay,
you know what I'm sick of? I'm sick of eating a whole steak.
Oh,
what if we had something I could chop it? I could just chop it in half.
It's great. How were shoes invented, huh?
I imagine the fork came about from like a pitchfork first, and then they're like, what if we could scoop food into our mouth with this?
I think the fork came about from beans, but so.
Boy, the barrel of this gun sure tastes good, right?
I thought you were going to go with the bottom of the barrel, but whatever.
We're also there.
Where are we?
The bottom of the barrel.
How did I get here?
We're 21 episodes in. Anybody still listening is a deep fan, and nothing we could say now will ruin it for them. So
you're a champion.
You're a champion. We love you, all five of you. Anyway, so Mitch, you've got some cool topics.
I do. Thank you. I wanted to talk about. I worked very hard at them. I wanted to talk about tabletop RPGs with you boys.
Yes.
Thank you for coming. Next step. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of the game Blades in the Dark recently, about every other week.
Cool. That sounds like a game about assassins.
Oh, how'd you guess?
I'm a magic man.
So I've been playing a lot of that.
I was going to say the other word after that, but then I stopped. Did you hear the hesitation?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been reading pen and paper systems for 5 years.
Really?
Never playing them, just reading them.
Is that your kink?
Yeah.
I know people that do that, and I could never do that.
I love it, man. I read systems more than I read books.
Well, do you listen to a lot of shows that do those kinds of games?
I listen to Friends at the Table. That's easily my favorite one.
I could see like wanting to read them then, just to have an understanding of what's going on.
Yeah, I got into Blades in the Dark because of Friends at the Table, and then I listened to like a Critical Role and One Shot.
The Critical Role guy is pretty amazing.
I hear Critical Role's good, but I've never gotten into it.
Matt Mercer, baby, he's so good.
Yeah. I used to listen to Nerd Poker, which is just like kind of a traditional but loose format D&D podcast by Brian Posehn, a stand-up comic that I'm a fan of, and some of his friends.
Yeah.
I tried that one. I didn't really get into it. I mean, the Adventure Zone was just so good. Like, I just can't listen to any other ones.
Armor Quest is pretty fun, too.
Armor
Quest is extremely boiled down, though.
Like, the first 3, maybe 4 arcs. before Griffin got so up his own ass with the story that he stopped letting them like freeform it.
Yeah.
I think they felt that they could do more with it, and that's why it changed a little bit.
I don't know.
I think like that's the thing. There are systems that are strictly focused on telling a story. D&D is not one of those systems. So when you're like,
the show was so funny until he started like railroading them.
Right.
Yeah.
It was still good, but it's just when I got started on that show and got hooked is whenever like Griffin was reacting to them instead of the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Which like that can happen like late game campaigns. That can definitely happen where like things are wrapping up, so we need like more words need to be said. But
Yeah,
anyway,
exactly. I think that's what happened. But go ahead.
I wanted to talk about like what you always like about it first.
About playing it?
Just about the concept.
I love making characters. That's kind of the thing I like doing. I always feel like my backstory is huge, and then the people I play with trump me every time.
Nice.
Yeah, they're a bunch of jerks. But I just like
they build a wall around your character.
I like playing that character. Now I do have a problem where I make my characters always the same. So I need to try to stop doing that.
I'm the same way, yeah. Especially in video games.
Yeah. Every character I've ever made is an alcoholic.
Man, I love making my characters just as out there as possible. I think in my first time playing D&D, I made it. What's that? Like the stone iron golem race, Stoneforged. I made one of those, and it was a monk, and it was born into a human monk cult, and its religion was punching.
That's pretty out there.
So his whole thing, he would reach God through punching.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah,
I like that.
I love making just like completely ridiculous characters.
See, that's what I want to do more, but I tend not to do that. I tend to just I stylize the character. I don't know, kind of like the character I'd want to be for some reason. I don't know. It's really weird.
Yeah.
I like making mine sort of like mysterious wildcard characters, so that whatever ridiculous idea pops into my brain doesn't feel out of sorts for whenever I feel like releasing it. Because I've only done like 2 D&D campaigns, both of which have kind of fizzled out at this point. But and
we're doing one currently.
Yeah, one was Mutant Year Zero, and one's that Viking one we're doing.
Yeah,
I feel I don't like some sort of inane responsibility to kind of spice things up and just kind of call out whatever the most ridiculous shit comes to my brain is.
Yeah,
because usually even if I botch the roll, like the idea is so good that the dungeon master will allow it or some form of it.
Some campaigns are like that, and the ones that we do, that group is kind of that way. But some groups are super serious about stuff, and they would not like that. I don't enjoy that much, but some people are like that.
I'm playing the group I'm playing with right now. I'm leading 4 players, and 2 of them are like that. They're very like grounded within the world. Like, all right, what realistically can we get away with? And the other 2 are like, fuck it, I'm gonna throw a sword across the room. I pull out a gun. Like, yeah, okay.
I don't go that ridiculous.
Yeah,
I always try to find weird ways to do things. That's my thing.
Same. Yeah. And that's it's mainly to keep myself from my OCD habit of wanting to min-max everything.
Yes, that's what I was gonna ask. Actually, do y'all believe in min-maxing, and do y'all believe in being more the character?
I do normally, and I've been trying to break myself away from that and just kind of explore and have more fun. Because even I know I keep tying everything back to video games, but fuck it. Like even in video games like Skyrim and shit like that back in the day, like all it would do is find the most efficient way and fastest way of killing things. Yeah. Until like hour 35 of that game felt completely the same as hour 2 because I found like the quickest way to kill somebody and it pretty much ruined combat in the game for myself.
Yeah, I really love systems that allow for ridiculous shit.
Yeah.
Like I know like D&D is a very fun system, but it's also it's very linear in the way that things move and the way that action takes place.
Yeah. We have to count in the other campaign I play. We count steps, like you have like a grid, and that is very limiting. You wouldn't think it would be, but that limits you a lot.
Yeah, I don't like that.
It's okay. It makes you strategize and it makes you read the terrain a bit, so it's kind of fun. Actually,
I think it's very counterintuitive to be playing a pen and paper game when it's tile based.
So structured,
if it's supposed to be like, I think those games are inherently, unless like I don't know, they're inherently non-visual, and there are aids for visuals. Like I know there are like minifigures and like dungeon setups that are reconfigurable. Yeah, I think things that aid the visualization are good. I don't think something that
It's
is
limiting.
Yeah, I've kind of, and that's probably what kept me clear of Dungeons and Dragons for so long, is because I knew there were a lot of rules involved with it, or at least I thought there was.
You can play around a lot of them.
But my biggest thing was like, don't draw me in with a game based around my imagination and then tell me I can't use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I had an idea for a while back of like just a very loosely based, like, I wanted to GM a game based around like Futurama, like you'd be the second Planet Express crew. So that like cool. in every session would basically be visiting a different planet, so the settings could change, the battle encounters can change.
Yeah, it's almost like Monster of the Week, but Futurama delivery.
Yeah, kind of like that. But and just kind of basing everything on a yes or no roll instead of percentages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And being able to overturn, like if somebody had a particularly funny idea or scenario or something, like just full control from the GM to be say, yeah, that totally happened or something like that.
See, I like the rolls in D&D a lot. I enjoy that part. I don't know why. It's the structure of it is perfect to me.
I like crunchy games. Like I like Call of Cthulhu is very crunchy in the sense that it's percentage based and you have like 18 stats to track percentages on.
That's crunchy.
But at the same time, there's a lot of times where it's sort of cumbersome to play.
Yeah.
I'll say this. So the campaign that me and JB were, I say currently, it's been a few weeks since we've gotten to do a session.
Yeah.
One of our first boss encounters had the ability to knock us prone. And my character has no sort of like quick actions, they're called.
Yeah.
And one, like, because you could, standing up takes a turn, or you can use a quick action and still be able to make an attack. And like this boss character, every other move he did, the side effect was that he would knock you prone. So I spent that entire fucking boss encounter. Yeah, we had one assassin who was able to do a quick action and get some attacks in, but we were prone like every goddamn time.
I blocked everything, so I was okay. But
I laid on my back that whole fight. It came to a point where I was just trying. I was like, "Can I just throw my weapon at him from my back? Like I don't know what to do.
Can I yell fuck off from across the room? Like what?"
I was like, I'm just gonna play dead and walk out of the room.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That was the
that
least
game's
fun
really
I've had.
fun. I enjoyed that one a lot.
It's good. It's good now. I have a quick action now, so I think I don't want to say his name, but I think the GM sensed my frustration at the thing because we haven't encountered an enemy with that ability in a while.
Yeah, well, he talked to me about it. And he said, "I think I made everyone go prone a little bit too much." And I said, "Yeah, I think so, dude."
Have you boys ever GM'd games?
No.
Holy fuck, it's stressful.
I don't know if I'd want to. I mean, I guess I don't know.
It's very much like I'll keep using Blades in the Dark as an example. It's very much about I, as a GM, am not supposed to go in with a story prepared. I don't know what's going to happen next session. I can just plan for this current session.
That's what I want to do. That's the kind of GM for like my Futurama idea that I'd like to do. Just free form it, just like real. What do you call it?
Right. Well, it's quite literally like I don't say, okay, you open up and you got tipped off about this mission. It's like the players can walk around the world and they can gather information and they can make their own choices.
No.
Because I'd be afraid that if I had like some sort of pathway in my head, that I'd be kind of frustrated, and no matter what the player chose, would use it anyway. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh yeah, we constantly do that.
And Railroad.
Yeah. So I'm glad that I don't have to worry about that. I'm glad that I pretty much have like a book of cool sounding names, and I'm like I just give them personalities and.
Okay. Do you have stats and stuff ready? Like.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's what I would be worried about. Okay.
And the rolling system is very reactive. Like the player rolls and then I decide what the NPC does.
Oh, okay.
Which is very cool. But the reason it's stressful is because the points are so critical to the PCs, and they have special abilities and sort of actions they can take based on of like an attribute rating. And it's stressful for me because everybody's like XP advancements don't happen very often, and so people get another pip in a skill and they want to use it so bad, but I didn't plan for them to use it this session. And so like trying to give everybody an opportunity to have fun, but also presenting a challenge and not pulling my punches is probably the most stressful thing I go through my entire week.
Yeah, it's like you want to challenge them, but you don't want to kill them.
It's a fine line because in my in-person session that I do, like we've gotten situations where it's just like, dude, we're fucked. Like, what the hell are we gonna do?
Well, and it's like how can I like put this character in danger? How can I reward them after the fact? And like, does this NPC they're fighting have anything to do with the story? Does
Right.
this have like?
Because if you think about it, like the campaign's ultimately the battles. If your party knows there's no stakes involved, then winning a fight just kind of feels fruitless.
Yeah.
Right.
So did I ever tell y'all about the unknown potion fight?
No.
Okay, so we were having this fight and we were almost all dead. So one guy was dead. He was unconscious. So I like grabbed him and like threw him back away from the enemy because I was a tank, and then I was basically dying to the guy because I couldn't hurt him. Because he was just so tanky, he was so armored, and so I had this potion that I had stolen that I didn't know what it was, and so I just, in desperation, I just drank it, and so I had to roll like a percentage die, and then my GM looked it up, and he's like, it makes you grow. I was a dwarf, but it still made me grow. I was like 15 feet tall or something.
Yeah,
and I was fighting a
made you normal height.
Still very round. And
I was a giant dwarf. And so I was fighting this huge guy, and
Look
so
out, oxymoron.
So then I just started doing wrestling moves to him, and that's how he survived. Because my weapon wouldn't do any damage to him, but we would have totally party wiped if it wasn't for that. If I had rode bad on that potion, we would have all died. And having stuff like that, it's extreme, but it makes it so much fun. Extreme Doritos.
I love flavor blasting tabletop RPGs.
And this wizard just straight up flavor blasts you to the next dimension.
My favorite thing was I would do like pop culture references in character in Mutant Year Zero, but always finish up with, and I don't know why.
And I don't know
they have no idea about our time's pop culture references.
Or something.
That's how I would like break the universe, but try and mend it at the same time.
Mutant Year Zero is a fun game.
That was a good one.
So yeah, now I want to talk about what you would like to play.
Remember my dog in Mutant Year Zero?
Yeah. Why did you have a dog?
We happened upon like a brain controlling mold infested dog.
Yes.
And the GM was like throwing out every red flag he could, but I was like, yeah, I keep him. I name him.
I keep him.
like I feed him and I train him, and I was like, he's like, yeah, you see like there's just like glowy yellow powder like coming out of his ears like in abundance every time he shakes his head. So I go, oh, who's a good boy? And I press my forehead against him and rub my face all over him and stuff like that. I don't know. It was like a good tug of war me and the GM had through the dog. It was just a good time.
What do I roll to check if there's a vet? I want to check this guy for fleas.
Because it was super obvious. Like this dog was like a throwaway NPC that he was just trying to like foreshadow something with.
Yeah.
That I forced him to keep coming up with details for.
Well, one of the other characters was a dog trainer, so you could have just talked to him, honestly. But that game was
because he was doing like intuition checks on the dog, and the GM was like, yeah, there's something messed up with this dog. I was like, oh, I love him anyway. I love him even more, a little scamp.
For some reason in that game, my character had a scooter. I think that was one of the things I just got. Yeah. And so I would just ride a scooter around like all the time. That's like all I would do.
I throw my scooter at it.
I think I did hit someone with it at some point.
Nice.
My weapon sucked.
So boys, one last thing before we move on.
Yeah?
No.
I'm here.
I'm not.
Alright, so we're moving on. I wanted to ask if there are any specific systems or specific stories you would want to play on pen and paper.
Oh, for TTRPGS? I don't know. I think that Monster of the Week thing sounds super cool. I would actually like to try that.
The thing I said, or is just that Monster of the Week thing?
No, just any Monster of the Week thing, because just to have it feel like like that sitcom-y,
like episodic.
Yeah. I think that would be neat.
Like I'll give an example. I want to do a Katana Zero campaign within Technoir, which is like a cyberpunk fighty game.
Yeah, I think I actually made a character for something like that, and it's never happened.
Character's name was Nicolas Cage.
It was actually it was a giant sloth.
Did you guys know Nick Cage voiced Spider-Man Noir in the Into the Spider-Verse movie?
Yeah, buddy.
He did a pretty good job.
He did every Spider-Man.
I don't understand it, but I will.
Everywhere I go, there's wind, and the wind smells like rain.
His Declaration of Independence.
My favorite fucking joke in that movie is he's holding a Rubik's Cube and he's pointing at the different colors. Is this blue? And I guess like no, because he's for black and white, so he's colorblind.
Wow, that's they stole that from UHF.
Really?
There's a blind guy solving a Rubik's Cube, and he's like, "Is this done?" And the guy's like, "No." He tries it again. Is this done?
You got it. But yeah, I think I shot my load already on that question. Futurama, I would definitely love to do, just because I fucking love that universe.
Yeah.
Because
It
the
is a
idea
really
I
good
have
universe.
for it is the same reason I fell in love with the show. Like every week, or every episode just felt like so fresh because they had so many ideas.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
because there's so much out there now, like there's even more you could do with that universe.
Now I
Yeah.
want to watch Futurama. Did y'all watch the medieval one that they
It
did?
was
Disenchanted?
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got some hints of okay parts, but
The
for the most
problem
part,
is like
it's uninspired.
Futurama and The Simpsons had like fucking 18 years at least to build up that world. It felt familiar no matter what.
Yeah, maybe
Mhm.
that's what it is.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Because you even hear the same voices you've heard for like years.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
No, that's fine. I was disappointed because I was looking forward to it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. I'll say lastly, I want to play one of the many mech-based systems there are because I
That'd
love
be neat.
big robots.
Do they have like almost like Gundam-esque, or is it all like?
Warhammer,
Yeah,
I imagine.
there's some Gundam games. Warhammer has some okay ones. There's one coming out very soon called Lancer. It was successfully kickstarted like 24 times over or something.
Damn.
Some ridiculous
Jesus.
stretch, and every mech is modular, which a module is basically
Ooh.
like a unique set of mechanics.
That'd be cool.
So each mech has its own unique set of mechanics and maybe like a unique stat just unique to that mech.
Yeah.
And it's it leans more towards fantasy than it does sci-fi.
Yeah.
Which is very cool.
Yeah.
Let's
So,
let's
that
start
one
a
for
Zone
sure.
of the Enders one just for the naming convention alone. Like
Yeah.
in the second game, the protagonist's name is Dingo Egret, and he pilots
Yeah.
a mech called Jehuti. So
Yeah, yeah.
sky's the limit.
Yeah. People spent a lot more money on this than I knew going in. Cause
Dude, yeah, have you seen like some people's like dice towers and tabletops and shit like
yes.
that?
People spent
Yeah,
a lot of
I
money.
mean, I have a pretty hefty collection of rule sets and of books and PDFs and box sets.
Yeah, but those aren't that. I mean, people spend like some of the minifigs are so expensive.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to design my own.
just
but it's
Gundam?
so
Yeah.
much.
Let's do one, but with regular figs. It's just action figures.
Just GI Joes. You
it's
just
just
buy
mad.
GI Joes. Those are like $5, right? You just get
Sure.
some GI Joes.
Let's just get a bucket of Green Army, man. This tabletop RPG Normandy.
That would
D-Day.
be interesting. The survival rate, Jesus Christ! Half your
I
party
take
dies on the first
I
day.
take 2 steps north and roll the dice. You die. All right, next character.
Yeah.
You control 25 Green Army men at a time.
Yeah.
That would be
But,
that'd be interesting. Okay.
So Mitch, you had a question for us about Hollywood.
Yeah, what's the
Dollywood.
deal with it?
What's the
What's
deal?
going on with Hollywood?
It's
What
bad.
is up with that?
Yeah, I was talking with one of my coworkers the other day, and we were talking about how many, I don't know, like the past 10 years? 5,
Mhm.
10 years?
Yeah.
The amount of remakes and reboots and shitty adaptations has skyrocketed.
So I was thinking about this the other day, actually. Interestingly enough, do you think? I mean, how long have movies been around? Since like the 30s? What do
Sure.
you think?
Uh,
40s?
No, it's the 30s. It's fact now because you said it.
20s?
it's canon.
Somebody update Wikipedia.
What about the tens? What about those
1800s.
negatives? I don't know, but Hollywood as a whole, like the big movies and stuff. That's like the 40s, I'd imagine, right? Around like World War II or so.
I would say
Sure.
50s, 60s.
Okay, Let's start there. So it hasn't been that long that movies has been around, because I was like, I wonder if this happened before, but really there was nothing to look back on because it's not that old. So it's very interesting that this is happening.
Especially as technology advanced, people are like, oh shit, we can make this guy jump off a roof.
Yeah. So one of the things I was thinking when I was thinking about this is that they do it because it's a safer gamble. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's easy to get investors behind, yes.
Yes. So I wonder if that's what it is, or
I think
like,
it's a mixture of things. Like, I guess we're part of the millennial crowd, somewhat. Like, people our age are the ones spending the most money on entertainment and shit like that, and nostalgia is a big seller. Yeah. So it's easier to rehash shit from like 20 years ago when we were like growing up and developing tastes and stuff like that than actually come up with original ideas.
There's definitely a lot of nostalgia things that's happening.
I'm going to do my favorite thing and correlate it with video games. That's why you see so many remasters.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easier just to high-res games that people liked when they were kids than to come up with something new.
Well, I can tell you, what made me think about it was I was watching Stranger Things, and it just made me think of the Goonies so much that I was like, this is almost just a remake of the Goonies, which is like scary stuff.
Well, I mean, there's no reason that show has to be based in the 80s and reference like fucking Ghostbusters and shit so much, but it does.
Yeah.
Right. I guess like specifically I'm talking about like there's a fucking Fast and Furious reboot following 2 years.
I mean, those have just gotten to the point where it's ridiculous.
There's a Rambo 5 coming out this year.
Really?
Yeah, they've started rebooting shows that aren't even that old.
Like, Disney is remaking all of their cartoons in live action.
Well, that's because they can do so much better CGI now.
No, you know what?
It delegitimizes all of the animation artists in the first ones.
I don't know if it does that.
No, I think it's so that it's some of those shows are getting kind of old, and I want to say like the copyright might be expiring on them and shit like that. So this is their way of refreshing that before it becomes a public domain.
That may be what it is.
So I don't know.
Clever girl. Guys, why is Rambo a cowboy now? What has happened?
I don't know, man. Sly thought he'd look cool in a hat, I guess.
It's a cowboy, baby.
Yeah, so John Rambo, you a fucking cowboy now. Fucking bitch. Fucking piece of shit.
How many guns you got? None. You ain't changing nothing.
You ain't changing nothing.
I love that line.
Be prepared, because now I'm going to talk like this for the rest of the show.
I love Rambo, by the way.
I love Rocky, so.
I love Rocky, too.
And I love Carl Urban's Judge Dredd.
Sylvester Stallone.
Fuck!
I will do that to him. Yeah, man. Even that I love that fucking Balboa movie. The one where he came back and he had that one more fight in him kind of thing.
Yeah, that was neat.
That's Cyborg.
That speech he gives his son on the sidewalk, that's a good fucking speech.
The Creed movies are amazing. I enjoy them.
I haven't seen the second one yet. Is it good?
Oh, yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
The only thing I don't like is like, man, like... I thought they were going to kill Rocky in the first Creed movie, and I thought that would have been a good artistic choice, but now he's still kicking, apparently.
I think they're going to make 3 of them. I think they're going to end up making 3 Creeds.
Sure, he'll probably die in the third one.
Rocky will live to be 120 years old.
I fought death. He wasn't dead.
Beat it with body punches.
And it cuts to him and Death from the guy who played Death in Bill and Ted 2, just doing Twister.
The cancer thing was pretty neat. Like the way they did it. I'm not
neat.
Seems a weird word, but like how they made Adrian died from cancer, and that's why he didn't want to go through the treatment.
Right.
He saw what she had to go through, and so it was pretty intense. It's an interesting storyline. Like I didn't expect something that deep from that movie, honestly.
I know, and it just kind of makes you like. It's got a very good subplot to it, because even with Balboa, it's just like, here's the champion fallen, you know what I mean? Like, here he's just being tortured at this point, and he just wants a little taste of how his life used to be.
Yeah.
And then you see him again in Creed, and all he's done is just lost more and gone through more pain, and now he's...
Yeah. It was neat. I need to get the other Rocky movie, though. I never got that one.
Which one?
The one when he comes back.
Oh, Balboa? That one's really good.
I don't think I have that one. That's the only one I don't have. I actually have the old one sitting in front of me on DVD right now.
That'd be fine if they remade that, but just used like Disney's de-aging CGI process and just did the exact same movies again.
That would be great. So yeah, it's an interesting movie.
How are you guys feeling about the new Terminator movie?
I don't think it's that good, buddy.
I agree with you, boys. I think it's going to be excellent.
I know you thought you were saying.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're the one editing this podcast.
I watched the trailer and I was like, I don't know, bud. I don't know about this one.
The first Terminator was the only good Terminator.
No,
like
dude, T2 is a masterpiece.
Yeah. D2, Mighty Ducks Return, was amazing.
I will say I am in love with the endoskeleton design so much that it kind of that gets me in the door for like whatever reason.
I think the Sarah Connor stuff looks cool. She looks badass.
Yeah, she looks amazing.
They fucked that universe so bad that they had to say, we're starting over from T2.
They're rebooting, but not from the beginning.
Yeah.
From about halfway
That's
in.
what I'm saying. The first Terminator was such like a fucking fantastic, like self-contained story.
Yeah, it was a badass movie.
It didn't need expanding.
The second one was good, though.
I'll say this. I could see Mitch's point of view, but Mitch is coming...
Second one was fine. They were on thin fucking ice.
No.
You're on thin fucking ice.
Mitch has I don't know the proper phrase that I'm searching for right now, but he came into it knowing too much, I guess you could say. Because think about it this way: the first Terminator came out of nowhere. Arnold Schwarzenegger was very much like not a household name yet.
He was the Conan the Barbarian, as it.
Terminator 1 wasn't an action movie; it was it was a horror movie.
Yeah.
And
maybe
so
that's
you're
why
fully
it's my shit.
And even all the marketing material for T2 made it seem like Arnold was back, and this time he was going to fucking kill Sarah Connor. Yeah. And the huge twist was that, like, no, he's actually the good guy, because they never showed, or they showed very minimally, the liquid metal Terminator. So you thought the cop was trying to help John Connor from the marketing material.
Yes.
So it was a huge plot twist and revelation and all that stuff, and it made you, like, it made the bad guy from the original movie endearing in a way.
Yep.
And it was a lot of things. It wasn't like T2 self-contained. I mean,
maybe that's why I remember it that way, and other people don't, because I remember that being the case.
Right, and a lot of people our age do. But like, I could see how that could be different for Mitch, where it's like it's an action movie, and Arnold has some funny lines, and there's some pretty good practical effects in it. And,
I really like the Sarah Connor story with the John Connor and all. I think that's awesome.
Yes.
And hopefully this movie like makes it better, more what it could be. So hopefully that will happen.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they try and redeem it, because I mean, they even got like the guy from the Deadpool movies on board for this one, huh?
Tim Miller. He's also doing something. I think it's Aladdin.
That man's just all over, huh?
Let me see here.
He plays the genie.
In Terminator 3.
Oh, this guy's got a nice, beefy face. Oh, he's doing Sonic. He's doing Sonic the Hedgehog.
No.
Yep. Tim Miller.
Who the fuck is Tim Miller?
No.
It's the guy who did Deadpool.
Seriously, there's no way
Sonic
that
the
same guy
Hedgehog
fucked it up
and
that
Terminator Dark Fate.
bad. Alright.
Yeah.
Well, James Cameron's producing this one, and it's really got his tone on it from that trailer anyway.
He did go for broke.
James Cameron producing basically just means he watches the movie halfway through and says, yep, that's a movie.
Yeah, he's a producer. He's just getting money based off his idea.
I'm just saying, like, there was a lot of tone, like, similar tone and alluding to the Terminator 2 in that trailer.
Oh, yeah, no.
In a very good way. And I honestly love the design of that black metal new Terminator.
I do like the ferrofluid looking motherfucker.
Yeah, motherfucker. Who could replicate him. I think that's what his hook is going to be, is that he can replicate himself.
Yeah. But
don't get me wrong, I am all for robot movies. The Terminator storyline is such a tired fucking concept.
Well, if they rehash it correctly, it'd be great.
Something about fucking Arnold, dude. I just love Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, he's old
I don't
now,
think he's going to be the Terminator in this one. I think he's just going to be like a guy.
No, he's going to be the Terminator still.
But why
the Terminator aged?
Yeah.
There was like a throwaway line in T2 or something like that saying like his
I'll
flesh
be back
on the outside.
In 25 years.
But don't be surprised if I'm old looking. No, it's something about like that organic flesh that they put over the things go like it bleeds, it ages just like normal human flesh.
His bones are fine, right?
He's got osteoporosis.
His bones
his bones is good. They're lubricated by all that good old blood.
Osteorobosis.
I take Centrum Silver and Mercury.
Mercury. He's the Mad Hatter.
I don't know what robots need.
So anyway,
I am.
We spent this entire time talking about Terminator.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all good.
I'm happy with it.
Tim Miller, you better not fuck this one up.
Don't fuck it up.
We apologize for the look of Arnold Schwarzenegger in this movie. We're going to go back. We're going to give the fans what they want. It's just Arnold Schwarzenegger with like
redesigning
human teeth and eyes blue.
He's blue.
They shut down the production for a redesign of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, did you see they just announced they finally delayed that movie?
Oh, did they?
Sonic?
Yeah.
Yeah, by only 3 months. And another
Gotta go
$128 million.
Jesus.
Yeah, that movie... I want that movie to keep being delayed forever, and it ended up being like a $3 trillion budget.
5-hour movie.
Yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog release is finally grossing over $2,000 domestically.
Everybody in production fucking killed themselves.
Except Jim Carrey.
That's why the movie just ends like 45 minutes in, no conclusion or anything, no credits.
You can see the boom microphone in one screen and the camera in another. It's a documentary on how
Tommy Wiseau signed on to finish production.
And Tim Miller's back, baby. He's back after 15 years.
Gotta go fast. Oh, hi, Tails.
I would fucking watch this shit if they just got Tommy Wiseau in a blue bodysuit.
Just a blue hoodie and blue sweatpants.
He's in a full mocap getup, but they didn't CGI anything.
Exactly.
Oh, boy.
I'm here to save your planet.
Oh, hello, Mr. Egg Boy.
I'm an outer space mouse. And they're trying to get him back on track. Are you sure? Because you look like a hedgehog. No, I'm not pig.
What kind of dog am I?
Meow, and then it's like jogs off.
And then it's credits. It's credits like they did in Endgame, where there's
no,
15
and then it's
people's
the
signatures.
sex scene from The Room again.
No, it's just a supercut of all the football throwing scenes.
Oh god,
from The Room.
You're my favorite customer. Good doggy.
Oh, hi, doggy.
What a great story.
Oh my god.
God, why is Hollywood so fucking obsessed with The Room?
It's just, oh man, we can't get into that.
No. We can't.
But I know
Josh,
we do
I hear
have
it's time for you to ask me something.
Will you marry me?
Let me ask JB.
What?
Should I marry Josh?
Here's something. It's time for review crew.
Yes, a million times, yes!
Review crew, where each week we deploy Tom Howard the Duck and John Rambo with 172 guns deep within Amazon to find us the greatest reviews from deep within the bowels of Amazon for features. Listening pleasure. Why did I put deep within Amazon so many times?
Because we did it by accident last week, so it's stuck. Tom Howard the Duck is my new favorite pun.
Oh boy,
this is a fucking mess.
Oh, don't forget we're deep within Amazon, boys.
We're rebooting the review crew intro.
Oh boy,
rebooting it.
Yeah.
Now Mitch hosts it.
Yeah.
JB does the intro.
But I'm older because they put on me age.
They get the old boy skin.
The old skin. Oh boy. All right. My first item is a wonderful board book. It's called Dancing with Jesus, featuring a host of miraculous moves.
I don't see Stephanie anywhere. That's an inside joke for me and JB.
Dancing with Stephanie.
I love this cover so much.
It's a great cover.
Because he's doing the Carlton, obviously.
He's doing the Carlton, and now Carlton has to sue Jesus.
Has to sue Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, Jesus. I didn't ask for this.
Now you have to call it the Jesus dance when you're playing Fortnite.
Yeah, I think Jesus invented it first. Cause
I think Jesus invented every dance, actually.
Yeah, he also invented flossing, but he called it brushing. That kid just stole it and renamed it. I want to eat backpack.
John 14:14, thou shalt floss with the utmost holy sanctity. Also,
He
you
said,
gotta
"This is my
gotta,
blood, this is my body, and this is my dance," and got up and just started flossing like mad.
and this is my nene. Boom!
This
hit
is
it.
my
Judas, you're not looking. Judas.
Judas, look at me. Don't kiss me. Don't kiss me, Judas.
Come and ride the train and ride it.
Judas.
This has been the Here's Something Bible study.
Yes.
We'll see you next Sunday.
See you next time, where
we
we talk
also-
about Revelation.
Did y'all know that
Bye-bye.
Jesus invented
God
the
bless, my
T-pose?
friend.
Okay, my first review.
Yeah,
is
we're
from-
moving on.
Oh.
My first review is from Ron. Gives it 5 stars. It's Ron Weasley. Is that his name?
I'm
I don't know.
Fucking libertarian.
I love this title.
Holy rock and rolly.
Hell yeah!
Ron goes on to say he may have holes in his feet, but he does not have any holes in his game.
I fucked my
Wow.
wife for the first time in 15 years because of these dance moves.
Watch Jesus turn water and wine into a Yahweh party. I recommend everyone to read this book and urge the church to amend the Bible and add this gospel of funk. If you want to see miracles, then you need to see how Jesus turns Jew lepers into 2-steppers.
I do love some wordplay.
That guy's he's an artist. Oh boy. Alright.
Can I read one from a Cranky Crab?
Yeah.
I got 5 stars. Not biblically based. Choreography uninspired. Missing song selections. A little too edgy, but I think Jesus would have laughed. Judas wouldn't have laughed because of spoilers.
Spoilers.
Not for types who can't take jokes. Great test if you are hiring a new pastor for your church. Don't hire a preacher that can't laugh unless he works for free.
For free.
For free.
Bad song selection. No, just play it along with the soundtrack to Sister Act. You'll be fine.
To Mamma
Yeah.
Mia. Moving Mama gave it 1 star. Says I bought this book hoping it would help me fit in and
Then I moved
socialize.
my mother.
And socialize at my local Christian youth group. Instead, it gave me unclean thoughts and caused sinful changes in my trousers.
Oh, moving mama.
These gyrations are clearly not holy and should not be tried by anyone seeking to know God through purity.
I'm super moist and don't know how to reconcile now.
Can I read one from Nancy C?
Yes.
Nancy C's fucking pissed. She says 1 star. Okay, let's just find knee-slapping humor in a book written about your father who was tortured and murdered.
Okay.
Can I have this 2-star from Amazon customer, not for little children?
Sure.
This book has a picture of Judas with a rope around his neck. Considering how impressionable young children are, it's very disturbing. I bought it for my little nephews, but after seeing that picture, I don't dare give it to them. Obviously, whoever illustrated this book has no children or a clue about what is appropriate for the little people.
Side
Don't
note,
give
I
this-
recently learned about autoerotic asphyxiation.
That shit is super tight.
Don't want my nephews learning about it, though. 1 star.
I like this this review from Gina. 1 star says it's all fun and games until you need him. What? It's all fun and games till you see these sweet dance moves, Gina.
Can I read this one from Loco Tango?
Yeah.
2 stars. Jesus really is gay.
Is that it?
Yeah.
That's amazing. All right, so
Oh.
so there's one review that trumps all the rest of the reviews for this one, and it's from Jehovah God.
Yeah.
5 stars.
It's about time he chimes in.
Yeah, he really needed to give us this take on this. He says, most humans don't realize what a terrible dancer Jesus is. And he goes on to say, hi, mortals. Most humans
He
don't
may have
realize...
walked on water, but he sure can't stomp the yard.
Most humans don't realize what a terrible dancer Jesus is, which is why I love
Us
this
humans.
book. Yes. Each page lovingly explores in detail just how badly Jesus dances. I mean, seriously, it's pathetic. He's the lamest and whitest dancer in the history of lame white dancing.
I could tell from these static photos.
That's right. He's doing the Carlton on the cover. I encourage everyone to get this book so you can laugh at my son, quote unquote, dancing as well. Love, God.
Love God. I love you. I'm God.
Yeah. Love you all, God.
He can't even stanky leg right.
You can't even do the Cabbage Patch correctly. All his crops die.
I watched him whip a nay, and I wish I hadn't.
That sprinkler is the weakest shit ever. Can I read this one from JJ and the boys?
Yeah.
JJ and the boys all these boys
So many
Say-
boys.
say 3 stars. Funny, but if you're going to write the book, do the research. And JJ and all these beautiful boys say, y'all, I know this is a tongue-in-cheek book, and it is funny, but the facts are wrong. Paul was not present when Jesus walked on water. It was Peter. You fucking idiots.
There's so many reviews about that.
Ruined it for me.
Who's the author of this tragedy? Sam Stahl? You fucking moron.
What
It was
the fuck,
Peter.
dude? It was Peter. You can't
It was
mix up-
Peter
You
who
can't
was
mix
there.
up your peas.
It was
What, with
Stephanie
all the-
who danced with Jesus.
Sam Stahl.
Fucking Sam Stahl, you idiot.
I hated him in The Lord of the Rings.
You absolute dipshit.
Jesus.
It was Peter.
It was Peter the whole time.
You dimwit.
We all know.
Fucking idiot.
I mean, who knows? Maybe Paul did try, but he also failed. So they
It was
only wrote
Paul.
about Peter.
I would love it if the author just kept going in that direction. It's like, yeah, and this is the dance move he used to split the Red Sea.
And then Jesus and Judas fucked. They had a
His
baby.
dance moves were so fire, it lit a bush on fire. Oh boy! All right,
It was
my next-
crazy. Charlton Heston was there and everything.
his
And
dance
then he
was-
said, "You did it! You blew it up, you animal!" I blacked out. Where are we?
Where are we? How do we get
What
here?
reference did I stop on?
Give me that. Next item.
It was a Rambo reference. So my next item is Barnett BBW wooden baseball bat, wood Barnett, and then they give you the different lots. So it's
Cool,
it's just a wooden baseball bat, and so just a quick note: everyone on Amazon buys these to make neat.
Oh yeah, the
costumes.
Bryce Harper store. That is a real fucking dude, bro, right there.
Oh yeah, that dude looks so cool.
He
does
looks
look
like
pretty
he thought about cosplaying as Hellboy and then just stopped. Like he's got
No,
the head shape down.
He's always kind of cosplaying as Hellboy
Yeah.
all the time.
I like run faster and hit harder with gear from an MLB legend.
He
Work hard,
spits on
play
each
hard.
one for speed.
These bats will make you run faster. Alexandra gives it 5 stars. Nice wooden bat. This is a great classic wooden bat. Heavier than I expected. In parentheses, don't drop it on your foot. And it's so heavy, don't drop it on your foot. It'll break.
Topical.
And
Top
perfect-
comment. Wish I had read before buying the bat.
Yes.
Dropped on my foot. 1 star.
My foot is smashed. I can't run any faster. Perfect for keeping in the closet as an unassuming, just in case I don't
Because it's
like
a gay
the-
bat.
Oh my God.
It's in there with Jesus.
Jesus Christ. Oh boy. I feel like we're done.
Jesus really is gay.
Look at his bat.
Look at that bat.
Look at him dance with a bat.
Why is that bat cosplaying as Lucille?
Jesus is really into that. He's
Dude,
into
people are
blood
so-
play. Can I read this one from La Nona?
Sure.
La Nona says 4 stars. I bought it for protection.
Alright.
La Nona is currently hiding from whatever she's.
Oh, that's the end of it.
Yeah.
I would love it if she had one of those customer photos and it's her bat with a condom on.
Just in case.
Just in case. I don't want
Yo.
my bat to get pregnant from this robber's skull.
From Jesus. You want to hear about Samuel Gonzalez's daughter?
I
If
do.
it got pregnant from Jesus, it'd be a virgin bat.
That's not how that works.
Yeah, do the research, JB.
Yeah, do some research. It was Peter that got pregnant from Jesus, not Paul.
No.
Samuel Gonzalez gives it 3 stars, says 10-year-old daughter broke it on a good pitch. The second time we took this out to play with it, it broke. My daughter, who has never played on a team, only played casual baseball with the family, hit a good pitch, and we all heard it
Remember
crack. Proud of my girl, disappointed in the bat. I just like how he rips on his daughter, like the first half. She'll never amount to anything. She sucks at everything in life, but she broke this bat. So this
My
bat...
10-year-old daughter is such a rampant piece of shit.
My 10-year-old daughter, as we lovingly know her, the useless piece of living after birth,
She's just gonna
crack this bat.
she's just gonna suck shit for the rest of her life. Really good hit though. Really good hit on this bat.
Breaking the bat was the highlight of her life.
That's the only good thing she'll ever do.
Marydale Farm, because the 5-star says, like my grandsons. The bat,
bat
is gay.
just
The
like
bat
my
is just like my grandsons.
Help.
This bat is
Some-
just like my grandson in the closet and forgotten about.
She goes,
Help an evil sports wizard transform my grandson into a baseball bat.
Wrapped himself in barbed wire before for some reason.
they told Will Smith that they wanted to play in the Major League Baseball, and he just made him into a baseball bat. All right, he goes on to say, if your kids, like my grandsons, like to toss up hickory nuts and rocks to hit when they're not hitting baseballs, these are great little bats, not so expensive that you don't let them hit rocks and hickory nuts. LOL.
That's 1950s slang for giving your best guy a handy behind the old moving picture show.
Want to go hit some
palace.
hickory nuts, Timothy? Oh, hell yeah, dude.
It was taboo back then.
It's some hickory nuts. All right. My final review is from Exotic Aromas. Gives it 5 stars. Says, I received this 32-inch
Smells
baseball
like
bat
fish.
today via Amazon Prime 2-day delivery in excellent condition. I brought this for the sole purpose of home protection and to protect my divine essential oils. This is an evil and wicked world in which we live, and one must protect their property and loved ones and essential oils from invaders and dragons. This bat is the perfect size for paralyzing the wicked, slaying dragons and giving them the permanent rest that they so desperately need.
I want so badly to live in this person's world.
I gotta protect what oils I need. I gotta have them. It's right there in the name. They're essential.
Got the lavender, got that peppermint.
They're essential.
Where's
They're
my citrus?
thieves. I need
Where's
the
my
thieves.
fucking citrus oil?
Keep your vaccines away from my bat. Thank you.
She goes on to say,
Please and thanks.
I hope for the sake of the wicked, it will not come to that. If I ever have to use this for protection, I will update this review on the effectiveness of this product. And this is a year old, so I guess, it was enough deterrent that the wicked and dragons never came to steal her essential oils.
Thank
Update.
Christ.
I threw my bat so hard it fell off the side of the earth.
Update. My bat got polio and is now dead. I wonder how that happened.
I couldn't rub enough essential oils on it in time.
I oiled it up real good.
Lucille, no!
Update. The second bat I ordered contracted measles to its middle school. Gotta go.
Hey everyone, it's me, once again. If you're liking what we're doing so far, do us a favor and tell your friends about the show. For updates, follow us on Twitter at HereSomething1. To watch us have some goose while playing video games, make sure to follow me on twitch.tv/GeekmanJones and on Twitter at GeekmanJones. From that Twitch page, you can find a link to our Discord and become part of your new favorite community and the last Discord you'll ever need. Well, thanks for listening, and we hope to see you again next week.